Hello, welcome for round 2 of my F1 2014 career season. The Torro Rosso, Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia to track red, and here you see images of my first lap into Q1, starting on the going straight away to the soft tyres, and you can see I set a purple first sector, which is a nice way to start qualifying. And here we find ourselves on the end of that very same lap. Can we get the provisional fastest time in this session? Yes, we can. No, we don't. Alright, so that was a very short-lived first place, because that's Ricardo, and he beat me to it by a couple of tenths. But at the end of Q1, I am in second place. Very nicely done. Vern is down into 14th, but both Torro Rossos are through, and I seem to have a significant pace advantage over my teammate, which is nice to know. So here we go. On the fastest lap I did in Q2. Let me show you the whole of the lap. And I'm going to spoil a little bit ahead already. I did not make it into Q3 and I lost the rear a little bit. You can see it sliding out. Also on traction here still. I usually do high gears to avoid that kind of shit, but it still happens. It's also very difficult to get on the throttle with. Well, I generally have problems with it. Get a much smoother exit out of this corner. A little bit of traction issues again. That's in 5th gear. Massive torque, of course, in these engines. Small snap here as we now approach and happen to the most trickiest bit, where the rear end is always loose no matter how much room you put it in. Very lightly, there you go, still almost slides out. It's a place where I lose so much time compared to the AI. I could be a second ahead of them before that corner, and when I come out of it, like they're right behind me again. This is also another problem for me. I cannot seem to carry as much speed through this corner as they do, and have to wait longer till I can get on the throttle. So this advantage here, this is probably the most spot along the straights. Well, they will pass me. They got much better traction. From what I understood is that the AI have inherent traction control, which of course makes it easier for them to facilitate pass on traction. So there you go, very close to the top 10 actually. 0.04 of a second on this lap. Turns out it was a little bit more. I dropped down to 12th place in the end, some 3/10 away from Q3. So that is not too bad. I am actually 9/10 faster than my teammate, and Lewis Hamilton somehow got stuck in 14th. So I guess on his hot laps he got traffic issues. So yeah, the AI loves to screw themselves over as much as they love to screw over the player. I've got my session objective, 12th or higher, which I did with 12th place. So let's get into the car for the start of the race. It's going to be a dry race, thank the heavens. Of course, with the inherent traction control that I have, driving in the wet with them would be even more of a disaster for me. I would just lose out basically everywhere. And now we of course have a little bit obligatory explanation about tyre selection, which of course I didn't know. So I'm glad he told me.
You can also change tyre strategy in advance of the race.
Fantastic. So gonna put a lap early, since I never want to be in the pit lane when other cars come in the pit lane, because they will hold you up. You are always at a disadvantage when it comes to that. It seems it's very annoying. Like you have to wait, like the gap between you and them has to be, I don't know, something higher to facilitate a safe release than it would be amongst themselves, it seems, because they're already coming out back to back basically the way they came in. But and yeah, as soon as I'm slightly ahead of them, you can bet your balls I will be coming out on the back of that pack. So apart from tire wear as well, that of course is also an issue. I tend to get a bit more tire wear, of course, in the beginners are also not that great on tire wear. So I'm having to stay, or yeah, it's also better for several reasons to come in. Hopefully have a good outlap and help to preserve my position, because that's really what I can hope for. Have a good start if I want to get some points today. And I did have fun in this race, so you could see the whole grid going by us. Maldonado 18th, Gutierrez 19th, and then the other usual 4 at the back of the pack. So it's time to head out. Still haven't quite figured out how to best get the car going. Of course, there's always a massive wheel spin at the start. Can't get nearly enough traction going on to keep my position, but usually, you know, with the AI being very slow in the first corner, it's never really that much of a problem. If I get a decent start, drop not too far back, I can usually make up all the places and gain a few. With a slight FU I decided to go into cockpit mode for something. I just find it more fun, more relaxed to drive in T-cam than I do in the cockpit mode. So here you go. Dropping down to 15s as usual. That's Grosjean to the right of me, and there you go, on the brakes. Sneak into a small gap between the Williams and the McLaren. Into 8th, into 7th. Williams giving me no room at all, trying to shovel me aside, and ran into the side of my car, crying out loud. Dive into the inside of Magnussen into 6th place. And bam! Great first sector. Can I get him one more? Yes, I squeeze Milkenberg a little bit. Got the inside line, we go side by side into the corner and make him go wide a little bit. Maybe a bit naughty, warning for causing a collision. Yeah. I suppose it's a little bit wide, I did not give me any space, but there you have it. To 5th place, and there you see the top 4. Well, they will pretty much disappear quite quickly. Rosberg in 1st. Back straight for the first time. Lovely grandstand over here. And we just Ricardo passed Bottas on one of the corners. Let's quite see what happened there. But Magnussen is already catching up to us. Of course, he's got massively more drive. Mercedes power, of course, pumping in. And the draft, of course, works very well in this game. Lose the rear bit. The fuel, of course, tricky. So you can see I can win him on it in the first sector. Basically, from the double right hand onwards, I will lose time. Here I'm actually within second. Magnussen 0.8 behind. There. Keep it in check. There he goes, already behind me. Everybody starts to look. Point 3. Gap to Bottas. Definitely looks a lot bigger than 1.3 seconds now. A lot of problems with the rear in the early stage of the race. Just wanted to let loose. There comes Magnussen. Mercedes power without even DRS. He just speeds past me. I can brake him easily to the final turn. So let's move ahead on. What I think is going to be the end of lap 3. Yes, here we go, onto the back straight. Magnussen right behind me as we exit, so he's got DRS now at this point. And there he goes, massive more speed than me. too far back to make a late lunge to the inside to regain the position. He's got so much better drive to me as well. And the DRS is not giving me enough advantage. Look, he's already too far back and almost to the braking zone. So it's position lost a place, into 6th place, still in the points. The team will be happy if I gain a point. That's the session objective, 10th or above, and it's going to be tough to get the correct. Lewis Hamilton is already behind me. There we go, lap 4, middle sector, a lot of problems again. Rear grip. Lewis Hamilton's going to pick on the inside. There, and Hulkenberg makes the pass on the outside. You can just see it in my left mirror. So nicely done by the Force India. Of course, there's almost Taylor's power behind me, so he's going to storm past me. I cannot brake late here because I lose the rear. They brake right to me. Much better traction. Just breezes past me, nothing to do, just like Magnussen. Hamilton almost sneaks in look as well. So he wants to limit the damage from this bad qualifying. Well, Vettel set the fastest lap of the race at this time. I can't even keep up with them on the straight. Only now am I gaining on the guy in front of me. This is almost at the end of the straight. I go wide a bit, braking late. Lewis Hamilton dives on the inside, tries to cut me off on the next one. Doesn't really work. Gates ahead of me, just about. And I switch back to Ricciardo and dive on the inside. A little bit of contact there. But I gain back the position and I hold on to 7th for at least a little while longer. Probably going to be a possible task. Here he comes again, end of the same lap, lap 5. He's got the position. Almost overtaking him on the outside. And we got Massa with me as well. Also being dragged along with me. Can I gain it back? I might be close enough for a lunge. No, yes, he goes a little bit wide. I might have nudged him a little bit. Massa and Hamilton bang it. I get a little tap from Massa as well. We gain the position back again. That was good fun. Now Massa is the one behind me immediately. Right up in my gearbox. One lap before my pit stop, I'm already struggling. Hamilton has regained the position. Massa has drawn back several places. There are also a Ferrari. Look at this, Hamilton is already behind me and he's not going to let up. For rear grip especially. He's so slow on the brakes, he's already more or less next to me, can drive a much sideline and is out of straight. He's already going quicker than me, so he's gone. Raikkonen goes with him. Might be able to get him back, so he's on the inside line. He might brake a bit earlier. Yes, he does. And I sneak back around him into 8th place. Well, Hamilton is now finally free, but he's a long way back from everybody in front of him. There you can see him. Lap on the pit stop, lap 7. Raikkonen sneaks in attack. Brakes early though. Keep the position, 8th place, but it seems it's going to be nearly impossible to gain the position here on the back, straight back and going everywhere. All the wheel spin going on. Color wise I don't look that bad, but yeah, don't have to be red to be very poor on traction. Of course, you're going to notice it a lot sooner. Massive amount of torque. I go to the pit lane and then I'm struggling for grip and I'm not going that fast through there. So I'm hitting the limiter. And the only one that pits this lap. Teammate passing me as well. 4 turn 1. And way back. The field seems like the other two back markers also. over, and there's something behind that pack. There comes Kobayashi.
You're on the prime tyres. Only one stop to go. Our data's showing that the car ahead is likely to be running in fuel conservation mode. His time will be slightly
I
slower.
don't want to be held up by that car. He's actually got massive more power than him down. Goes a little bit wide up the exit. Got more grip on him. There you go, Jean-Eric amongst many others in the pit lane. I'm in 19th now. There we go, 17, 16, 15, bam, 13th place. The rest of them will probably pit a lap later. Massa is already next to me again. Hello. Lets himself fall back during the corner. But it seems this is my favourite race, is defending my lead position I have on the two straights. There he goes again. I'm braking, I get him again. I'm in 9th place again. He goes again. And I got a late lunch, but just about make a clean overtake. Not a bit wide, like forcing Massa to wait at 12th. Same party again, except this time it's Button who's caught up with us. And the Merc powered car, I've seen a lot of those today. He's got me here. Can I get it back? Decent exit, not dropping too far back. Gaining on him now. Gaining is enough. Can I make the drive? I probably can. Bit late, he leaves room for me there. And Massa sneaks behind past Button as well again, so but Button makes it back in 10th place again. So it looks like Massa, there's now a Ferrari in there as well, which is I believe Raikkonen again. Lap 17, I planned pit stop. Some cars coming up fast, both of them, but on my left, Raikkonen on the right. A little bit of off tap. It's squeezed by the two. There comes Raikkonen again. I'm going to pit anyway, I'm going to brake later, regardless. Let it run wide. Hit the pit box. Not longer there. Roll into the box.
Watch out for traffic as you rejoin the track.
To 14th place. And Button pitting with me, so he's still stuck behind me. Which means the dance starts all over again. I'm gonna have to hang on. There comes Massa and Raikkonen. Massa in 10th place, and Raikkonen over that. They jumped me, staying out a lot longer, but I can get Massa on the outside. Great path. Raikkonen is already too far away, so I have to yield my 9th place to him and see if I can hold on for the point lap 22. So, like I said, it's the same thing again, having to defend my position on the straights by late braking and defending hard, squeezing them a little bit where possible. So, there you go, see, lap 22, same deal again. It's basically these two straights, and they have a chance to attack me, but with late braking, keep the position and every time. So Yeah, nothing really changed over the course to the last lap there. It was the same deal every time. It was either Massa or Button. I think Massa most of the Button dropped off at some point. A little bit. Made a mistake somewhere. Yep, there he is again. See, he's still there. So he's making, giving it a go. Now on lap 27, going into the final lap. So we're going to watch the whole final lap. There he comes. See how much speed he has. I'm trying to move to the left. Squeeze him as much as I can. Force him to go on the curbs a little bit. Nico's already finished. So I think it's just me, Button and Massa, the last men on the track. It seems that Massa had dropped off his pack. Rosberg took the win. We were almost a lap down. We were good lap for about a second or 10 seconds or so, something like that. Not much anyway. We were just about the end of the straight when Rosberg finished. So massive advantage for Rosberg. I'm struggling with the tyres, of course, a lap longer than my previous stint. All I have to do is really focus on the straights. Just to get some grip out of this corner. Button needs to get past. I get to high mix. Minimize the loose ones again. Button seems to have a poor exit, which is all good for me. Now you suddenly see Max Chilton in 10th place. Like what? Where the hell did he come from? What happened there? Well, thank God it was a glitch. He was not actually ranked as 10th place. So I was a bit stolen out of a point there. But there you go. It will be confirmed. I did get 10th place, got a point, and yes, basically achieved my objective again. Basically, you see a small glitch of importing a 2013 helmet texture over a 2014. The helmet texture doesn't quite fit, but it works well enough for me, and I don't really feel like redoing it at this time. Looking for some nice resources to show up in the race department if at all possible. So here are the race results. Nico won, 16 seconds ahead of Vettel and the other Red Bull of Ricciardo. Lewis Hamilton made it up to 4th, so good effort from him. And there you go, 10th place for myself, first lap of 1:44.883. So hardly anything impressive. Vern has a 1:44.279, which is actually quite a bit quicker, 6/10 quicker than me. But overall, my overall pace was more stable than his, and of course I had to defend all the time, which doesn't really help either, even though it was just on the straights. So dropped down, obviously, down to 5th or 10th place with 5 points for the team. Jean-Eric Verne is still still no points for him. And then the constructors, of course, we have the same amount of points, 5, since I'm the only guy who scored points for the team thus far. And we should be able to get to see that as soon as well. We're going to drop down the list. Massa without points still, that's kind of surprising, of course. Oh, you can pass me today, and or Button. Here we go. Well, are we in 6th place above Williams Racing for now? So this doesn't seem quite fair in terms of their Williams' actual race pace. So there you go. Got another point. Team is happy again. And thank you for watching, and we'll see you hopefully again in Bahrain. A night race this time around. Bye bye.